A Surprise for Gappy, Book 1 of the Young Vampire Adventures by Star Donovan. Illustrations by Anne Catherine Liu. Chapter 6, A Secret Identity. Early the next morning, Gappy dreamed that his right hand was tingling. When he woke up, the sun was shining in at the window, sending a bright beam of golden light across his bed and his hand. Suddenly, everything he had learned the night before flooded into his head, and his heart almost stopped with excitement. He snatched his hand out of the sunlight and inspected it closely. It looked a little pinker than his other hand, but it had stopped tingling now the sun was no longer shining on it. He lay back on his pillow and stared up at the ceiling, thinking about what his parents had told him the night before. "I'm a vampire," he whispered to himself after a while. "I'm a vampire," he said a little louder. An excited feeling started to well up in his chest, and he could hold it in no longer. "I'm a vampire!" he yelled at the top of his voice. Mom popped her head around the door. "Are you all right, Gappy?" Gappy nodded. "Yeah, Mom. I was just thinking about everything, and I had to let it out." "Well, so long as it's in the house where no one else can hear," Mom said. "But nowhere else, mind. Do you feel well enough to go to school?" Gappy scrambled out of bed. "Yeah, I can't wait to go to school." Mom shot him a warning glance. "Okay, Mom, I know. I won't tell anyone. I just feel full of energy today, that's all." "Well, that's good, I guess," Mom said. "Breakfast in 10 minutes?" Gappy hummed as he got dressed and loaded his book bag. "This is the first day of the rest of my life," he hummed. Isn't that a song on one of the oldies radio stations? Well, that's what I feel like. A lovely smell wafted up the stairs, and Gappy sniffed in approval. Bacon. He pounded down the stairs and almost collided with Dad, who was coming out of the bathroom. "Watch it, young scamp," Dad gasped. "And watch it down those stairs," he yelled as Gappy went tearing past. "You can't fly yet, you know." But Gappy did not hear. He was too busy concentrating on the bacon smell. As he sat eating his breakfast, Mom handed him some pills with his glass of orange juice. "Here, Gappy, you have to start taking these now," she said, sitting down next to him with her teacup. "The big red one's your vitamin pill, and the other ones are iron pills that help keep vampires healthy. They're made for us specially by Benny's VIP in San Francisco." "VIP? As in very important person?" Gappy asked. He gulped down the pills with a swig of orange juice. "That wasn't so bad, but the purple one tastes like poop. Yuck!" Mom laughed. "We'll get used to it. We've been complaining for years, but Mr. Benny just can't seem to make it taste any better. And VIP stands for Vampire Invigorational Pharmacy." She smiled as Gappy sounded out the long title. "It is rather a mouthful, isn't it? That's why vampires call it VIP for short. The regs probably think it stands for Very Important Pharmacy, which may seem a little puzzling because to them it just seems like a regular drugstore. Mr. Benny's very careful to keep the vampire potions hidden away under lock and key." She took a sip of her tea. "Oh, and I might as well warn you, my cooking is going to be getting a bit different from now on, too." Gappy wrinkled his nose, remembering the mention last night of raw meat, liver, and kidneys, and stuff like that. Did that mean no more meatloaf? Or would it be raw meatloaf from now on? The school day dragged for Gappy. He felt so different. Everything seemed brighter and louder and, well, clearer somehow. Except for Billy Tompkins nudging him in the ribs as he ran past and hissing, "Gonna faint today, Gappy?" Nobody took any more notice of him than usual. He could not believe that no one could tell he was different. Not even Prue, though she did say at one point that he seemed to be having trouble concentrating. He felt as if there were loads of fizzy soda bubbles filling up his chest, dying to burst out, and he felt very conscious of the heavy secret he had to hide from everyone. My secret identity, Gappy thought to himself. Oh, it's so hard having something you're excited about but can't tell anyone. Several times he almost blurted out something to Prue, but when the image of white-coated scientists poking him came into his head, he closed his mouth just in time. He hugged himself hard and shook his head violently, as if to get rid of some of the excitement fizzing up into his brain. "I suppose it'll get easier once I've grown used to it," he tried to tell himself. But, "Everything okay, Gappy?" Miss Pinsweep called. "Yes, Miss Pinsweep," Gappy answered and bent over his book with a little smile. Visit Gappy at www.gappy.tv.